I went to Southern Technical College in February of 2011, and began working there as an instructor. I had never worked as an instructor in any kind of program. And so when I went to work there, I really didn't know what I know now about the system and the fact that sadly it doesn't focus on the success of the student. I do know of 2 students who were admitted with no high school diploma, no GED, because during the process of registering, they're told, okay, on this form here, you either need to check this high school diploma or GED if you want to go to school here. And every once in a great while, they would do a random audit to see if that question had been answered honestly. And there was a couple of students while I was there who were essentially kicked out for the simple reason that what they answered there was not honest. But financial aid had been told, this is how you present this information. If you want to go to school here, check this box or this box. And as time went on, I began to see more and more of the shady business that they were doing. So in May of 2014, we were essentially told how not to have a student fail. Per Ilia Matos, or Ilia Martin, whatever she calls herself, we were to have no Fs. So we were to give incompletes. And then if we had a student who simply could not come to school on a routine basis, we were to have academic events, which in essence was a phone call or emailing. It consisted of talking to the student. That could be on face or phone call, or emailing them some assignments to do and ultimately turn in. And this was going to be called an academic event and would equate to being given credit for attendance in class so that they weren't out too many days. And word got around about the academic event, and students began asking for academic events fairly routinely. Basically, the phone calls were maybe 15 to 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes in length, depending on how many assignments you were telling them to do. And of course, these assignments were being done on the computer, even though theoretically we were not a distance learning or online learning school. Because I was teaching in the medical program. And let me ask you a question. Do you want someone poking you for blood who didn't come to school 50 to 75% of the time? I think your answer would be no.
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Mr. Cressito and a second by Dr. Matos. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
No.
Thank you. Motion carries.
Ms. Matos, can we ask you just one thing I wanted to ask you about? It's related to this document. We spoke with one of your former employees, Ms. Cheryl Kelley, and she talked about academic events for attendance purposes, which was basically phone teaching, is how it was explained to us, that a teacher would call a student on the phone who wasn't coming into class and say, hey, talk about the lesson for 15 minutes, and that would count for attendance purposes, which doesn't seem like it would necessarily be kosher to me, but I figured we'd ask you what it's about.
I need to look further into this. Okay, thank you very much.
Oh, you can keep that one.
Thank
that's
you.
your copy.
Let me call you.
And so ultimately, I elected to leave, and I did resign. I did not resign under threat of being fired. I simply resigned because I just couldn't look some of those management people in the eye anymore and keep my mouth shut.